Hey everyone! So today I thought I'd shoot a quick video on how to make gummies. We make homemade gummies probably every week or two because my girls love them. We in the morning have a couple of gummies with our coconut water. Not quite sure where that routine came from, it just sort of developed. So what I've done previously is made elderberry gummies, which are an amazing immune booster, and that's what we do in the winter to kind of keep their immune system up, especially as they're going to preschool and daycare. Today we are making some cherry elderberry gummies, and I thought I'd share with you kind of my method and a few different tips that I've learned through failing miserably a lot of times. I do have a little helper today. So first and foremost, what I kind of do, I'm really bad at measuring, I suck at it. I do have a gummy blog coming out soon, but the majority of the time I kind of just eyeball. So over here I have my blend of dried elderberries, cherries, dried elderberries, cherries, raw honey, and coconut water. My tip with your blend, you want about roughly 1 cup of liquid. You want to make sure it is completely smooth. Nobody likes chunky gummies, it's disgusting. You also want to make sure it is super, super sweet, a little bit sweeter than you would normally make it, and that's because you do dilute it with the gelatin mixture, so you want to make sure that it's really sweet beforehand so it still tastes good once it's diluted. Ack. I have a puppy eating a string. Give me 1 second here. Ack. So you do want to make sure it's super sweet when it's diluted. Then I have my gelatin in a really, really big glass bowl. I use Perfect Supplements gelatin. I love it. I'll show you what it looks like here. So it is pasture-raised beef gelatin. I love it. It works really well. It's a good quality product. It's just kind of what I go with. Hang on, I'm not quite done. So I use roughly a 1/4 cup of gelatin, or like 3½ scoops. I'm going to pour some really hot, almost boiling water into the gelatin, whisk as fast as I can, and make sure there are no clumps. So the reason I have everything set out ahead of time is because you need to move fast. Otherwise, everything kind of congeals in your mixing bowl and doesn't pour. So the faster you go, the better it is. So make sure that you have everything ahead of time. So I have my gelatin, I have my hot water. I'm going to pour it in, whisk until no clumps remain. Pour my mixture and whisk as hard and as fast as I can and pour immediately. Alright? In terms of liquid, I pour just as, we have to mix first, right? I pour as much just to make sure that it is fully dissolved, so I'd say maybe 1/2 cup. So I'm going to pour that in and I'm going to whisk. And as you see, it already kind of starts to gel and get super, super sticky on your pot. So that's why you have to go far faster than you would have ever thought, or I would have ever thought. And you're trying to get it foamy and making sure that everything is dissolved. So as you're mixing, here, pour in your cherry mixture. Okay, and yeah, I'm just about to pour. So whisk as hard as you can. You can already see it kind of getting a bit sticky. Sometimes if I find it a little bit sticky, I'll pour another tablespoon of water in to thin it out. And then you pour, well, let's do the gummy bears first. So then you are just pouring it into your molds. Now, typically I am terrible at this. I'm really good with the bigger molds, but these little bears are tricky. So I personally prefer the silicone molds, but I do have a couple of girls who like actual gummy bears, don't you, honey? Yeah. These are my last resort ones. I also really like hearts. Now the other tip I have is, even though these molds are fairly deep, so if you actually look, they're about 1 inch deep, my measurements aren't awesome, don't fill them all the way. And that's because really thick, well, my girls anyway don't like super, super thick gummies. They like a little bit thinner. So I try to keep it fairly thin and not fill them all the way. What do you want, circles? Okay, we also really like circles. So I'm going to pour all of these in, and I'm just going to let them sit in the fridge for about 60 minutes, and then you can pop them out. Now, this makes quite a big batch. We go through a couple a day.
Then this one,
Then that one? Okay. We go through a couple a day, but they only last about 1.5 to 2 weeks in the fridge, so I actually freeze half my batch, and then just take them out and throw them in okay, put it down. And then just take it out and throw them in a jar. Nope, look out, you can dip after. So I would recommend freezing them if you're not going to eat them all. But just remember my tip to make them a little bit sweeter, because we've done that in the past where they're not as sweet and nobody likes non-sweet gummies. My other tip is to not add too many crazy things. I once tried putting, what did I put, flax or something in? Not delicious. Same with, there we go. Same with coconut oil, or coconut milk.
Yeah.
No, we're out. Coconut milk makes a creamy gummy, and from my experience, nobody likes creamy gummies. Just stick with a water base. I like coconut water because it gives them a bunch of electrolytes. Stick with a water base. Keep it really simple, few ingredients, and use a quality sweetener. I use raw honey because in the winter it gives a great immune boost to the girls, and in the spring it gets them used to the local pollen. So they're all poured. All I'm going to do is stack them, toss them in the fridge, and they're good to go within an hour. Some may have little fingers in them, but otherwise they should be delicious. So if you're making your own gummies, good luck. Let me know how they turn out. Hang on. And if you have any questions, just drop them and let me know. Enjoy.